Hi, besties.
Welcome back to the Baddie Besties podcast.
My name is Alyssa.
And I am Samira, aka Samski.
We're excited to have you. Welcome back. Today,
today's a hot one.
It's a hot topic.
Spicy.
It's a spicy.
Spicy. Ooh, gosh, don't cancel us today.
Don't cancel us, please. But like we said, we're keeping it a stack. We're keeping it real. We're bringing our real thoughts and opinions.
Authenticity, baby.
Yeah, we want to hear yours too. So let us know what y'all think in the comment section.
So before we jump into it, I'm going to say what inspired it. So Shout out to Tia, my little sister. And just in general, TikTok TikTok got all the trends. But, we thought this was something that we wanted to shed to light. It was a trend that was going on that said what women are not afraid to admit or afraid to say. So this podcast today is we are taking on this trend. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Insert sound. We're taking on this trend, and we wanted to do an episode that felt very much like I said, like a FaceTime vibe. Like this is a conversation that we had previously, just on FaceTime. Like what do you think? What is something that you wouldn't be afraid to say, sis? So we do have two things that we're gonna talk about,
or maybe a couple. We'll see.
A couple. We'll see, if anything comes to mind as well, and then we'll add it in there. But
I think also the point of this too is like, we're not just picking up a trend, right? It's like, we want to show we're not afraid to challenge what's taboo. Like we're all thinking these things. I know y'all are thinking it. It's just, we're going to shed it to light, honey.
Yeah. So it's not about the trend, but it's about the topics that we're gonna choose that we really want to delve into and hear your opinions on and tell you guys what we think about these certain topics that we're not afraid to say.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first or should I go first?
We can go first to yours. It's fine.
With mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me, Liz, what are you not afraid to say?
I got you. So Liz, what are you not afraid to admit or afraid to say?
I am not afraid to say that I would rather be single and have no marriage, no babies. Ooh,
crazy.
And I want marriage and babies, all right? I would rather be single and not have that than be miserable, okay? There ain't no way. I'm still saying it. There ain't no way that I will put myself in a situation intentionally or with a consciously with a man that's going to not treat me well or is going to be disloyal, is going to give me anxiety. I have to walk on eggshells. My mental health really matters. My happiness really matters. And, I see so many women get caught in these attachments, to these men and fall in love with these men and get really caught in marriages or, just in relationships or even just living together and feeling stuck, you can't get out because you live together now when, you can always make a decision for yourself. That's the truth. It doesn't mean it's an easy decision or a quick decision, but, I'm just going to say that because it's not, I came from parents that got divorced. That shit was so hard on all of us. I'm not saying it's easy, but I say that with my chest, I would rather be single and never have a baby on this earth than be, with a man that puts me through hell, period.
So I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper here and just kind of unpack this a bit. So what happens? You're already in this relationship, you already have love with this person, love for that person. What do you do then? Because deep down you do love this person or had love for this person. That's the first question. The second question, just to unpack a little bit, what if the child's already here?
Well, I didn't say that. I said I wouldn't intentionally have a child with someone if I was miserable. But if say you asked me two questions, so that was first to mind. Say I did end up, getting pregnant and I was having this child and I wanted to have the child, then and I'm not happy, then I would have to remove myself from the situation. And that's something I don't want to do. In my whole heart, I really just want to have the love of my life. I want my hubby. I want my baby. I want us all in this big, beautiful house. And it's not even saying that it's all going to be perfect, because nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And relationships are mirrors. Like, you're going to trigger things in each other. Yeah. But the beauty of it is like working together through them. So I think, to answer your first question, like, alignment and communication is so important. Mm-hmm. And like, willingness to learn and willingness to grow is so important, because I can be in a relationship with someone and say I'm miserable. Say, you know, we get married and we have this baby and everything's great, and 5 years down the line, now I'm miserable. And I'm thinking back to this conversation, like, my first step would be trying to introduce a conversation or multiple conversations for us to like grow through this. Like, let's talk about whatever the problems are, or, you know, where I'm feeling misunderstood, or where I'm not feeling seen, or where I'm not doing my part as a wife. Like, I think, you know, even in marriages are not meant to be easy, like, at all. You know, there will come a time where you probably want to kill each other, you know, but you gotta have real conversations. And I will need the man that I'm with to be receptive to those things and to want to dig deeper. Because I feel like usually, like, when something happens, like an affair in a marriage, for example, usually it's not because someone just pissed you off that day and the next day you just like were like, fuck it. Like, either maybe you're self-sabotaging, maybe it's been 2 years and you feel like you haven't really been heard. Like, there's usually something deeper there. So my first, you know, instinct would be to try to like look deeper. And, you know, in my own business, like, I'm a counselor and a coach. I work with women and I help them dig deeper. So I'm a very analytic person naturally. So I'm going to psychoanalyze myself, my man. Like, I'm going to try to help us heal and work through it to get to the other side. But if I'm with someone who is not willing, or just like will not change, and this is just who you are, then that's something I'd have to accept. And I think having value for yourself and respect for yourself is utmost important, because you can get lost in someone else and their shit and be miserable. And that is something I refuse to do. I will not do that.
That is so important. It's so easy to get lost in the sauce.
So
easy, especially when you're like in love. Yeah. It's so easy to forget who you are. And that's why, baby, I'd be like, I'll even not about my relationship, but just in general, I'll have to remind myself who I am. Like, baby, you is that girl. You are that bitch. Like, get up. So that's really an important conversation that I think a lot of women may be not ready to have, because they could be in a toxic situation, but maybe they already have a child or they already established a relationship, so they're afraid to walk away.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's easy. Like, even, you know, the relationships I've walked away from, like, I'm walking away crying. Like, I'm walking away not wanting to leave, you know, for the most part, you know, from, you know, recollection of other breakups that I've been through. Most of the time, like, I wanted to save it, or I tried my best, you know, like, I wanted to make it work. I don't think it's easy. I don't think leaving someone or a situation, a partnership, with someone that you really have a lot of love for or you're in love with will ever be easy, especially if you have kids, or even if you're like married and you have like your lives intertwined, your day-to-day, your finances. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I'm saying I would rather be alone than be in an atmosphere that I'm anxious like all the time, you know. Like, home is supposed to feel like a safe space, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm not being unrealistic, but there's no way in how I'm going to be miserable and not say anything, because I've done that before and it sucked, and I'll never do it again.
Oh, we love that. Alyssa's choosing herself.
Yeah.
Period.
It's self-love season. And the last thing I want to add before, you know, asking you, Samira, what your answer to this question is, I think one other lesson I learned that relates to this is your own self-love. When you really take the time, because it takes time to like build a deeper self-love with yourself, and you become your own source of safety and stability and love, and you're not seeking it in male partners all the time. I'm not saying they're not supposed to give that to you, because the right partner is supposed to give that to you too. But when you can do it for yourself first, you will start emanating a new energy, a new baddie vibe, right? A new, you don't operate from a place of, I need anyone to fill my cup. You already feel whole.
Yeah.
So you will find a man that is already whole, A, and B.
That's an important spot there. Like, I think for two people in a relationship, you shouldn't both be coming as half of yourself. I think for y'all to be successful, everyone should be showing up as their whole self. And I remember I was given that advice at a young age, and I think that was a really big thing for me why I didn't jump into a relationship. Like, I kid you not, Terrell is like essentially like my first, and it's crazy to say, like potentially like my last boyfriend, God willingly.
Yes.
And that's crazy because it was important for me to like really understand myself, for me to like, I didn't want to go into anything like trying to find myself within the person. I also think that's another way to get manipulated too. Mm-hmm. So honey, you're not about to manipulate me, boo-boo.
No, sir.
I'm not about to be manipulated by you, honey. So I think it's easy, and I see a lot of young girls kind of like fall into that. And I'm not saying, oh, my relationship's perfect, oh, we're both whole people, but I feel like I'm now in a space like he can come in as a whole person, I can come in as a whole person, and then we can learn and bounce from each other. We can learn from each other. We can grow together as pairs. But like you said, like it's important to have that love within you.
You have to. Yeah. You have to, because when you don't, you're going to like, it's almost inevitable to like attract like the right kind of guy that is best for you. You're always going to attract like a mirror image. It's just how we work. Like the match that you're going to get, you're going to attract a mirror image. And I say this from a place like I've attracted guys that cheated on me. Like I've attracted guys that were manipulative and gaslighting. Like I've been through those relationships, you know? And when I reflect on it, I know, as much as I don't want to say it, I know that there were pieces of me that attracted that to me, and pieces of me that even tolerated certain things that the me now, like it would have been like I'm studying over my words because I would never even be into that. I would never tolerate it. Like it would be a dub, you know? But
that's like, you had to live that though, to be able to learn from it. And it's like, I don't want to, you know, that those experiences really shaped who you are. So
absolutely,
at this point, like it sucked. And you know, you picked up your stuff, you put your big girl's pants on.
I sure did.
And you did that. She walked away, and now like look at her now. She's thriving. The Baddie Bestie podcast about to launch. Like it's like I think those moments is what brought us here today.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And I will say, for my girlies out there that are, you know, feeling some anxiety in your chest listening to this, and you're like, she's talking about me, you're coming for me, you know, like, I want you to know that, like, I'm not coming for you to say that what you're doing right now is wrong, because I've literally done, I'll talk more about this. I've done it all. I've had some crazy stories, you know, so it's really about like recognizing, okay, where am I? Like, where really am I?
Yeah.
What am I accepting or tolerating that I know I shouldn't? What is my intuition saying? What am I ignoring? Because I know, ladies, I know in the back of your head, you're feeling this no in the back of your head, and you're not listening to her because, you know, you really like this man, you know, you love him so much. Maybe you had a kid together. Like, there's reasons there's things you like about him or the relationship, or you're just attached, but you still feel, I know you still feel, you still hear that other piece of you back here telling you that it's no, that like you deserve better or whatever it is, right? So I really want you guys to give yourself grace and also just bring in a deeper level of self-awareness and just start thinking, you know, of what you want, what you deserve, like build that deeper self-love, like build that trust with God, universe, whatever you believe in, you know that if you do walk away from something that you know in your heart of hearts isn't for you, that God will bring you something way better.
Yeah.
And it is going to require you to do some more like work on yourself and just loving on yourself, like whether it's getting in the gym or whatever you got to do, you know, and it will all work out in the end. You know?
I just do wanted to point out, we're not telling you, you know, to leave your mans. No one. We're not saying to leave.
Please try to have some conversations with your man, please.
I think if you guys can make it work, like I'm not about like breaking marriages.
No.
If you can make it work, like marriage
go through. If you can go through it and grow through it, please do that.
I like that. Repeat that again for them.
Yes,
Repeat it again.
if you can go through it and grow through it, please do it. Like, I want to encourage more of these conversations. And even for our men out there, like, there's so many men that they're not tapped into their emotions. They don't even know why they're self-sabotaging. Like, they're operating from their childhood, like, wounds and, like, old shit, like, what they're used to doing, like, whatever it is, right? And I'm not saying tolerate men's behavior and stuff like that, but if you are in a relationship that you're like, damn, I don't want to leave, or I'm in a marriage with kids, like, please work on it. You know, try your best.
It has to be both, though, right? They need to both be receptive.
Both.
Yeah, both. And if you are in the space, like, he is budging or you're budging, like, I would say, like, obviously try to fix what you have. I think another thing too, what we're not trying to convey, like, the grass is not always greener on the other side, baby. Like, I think it's sometimes when you have a good thing, if you can resolve it and fix it, because love is so precious. And when you find that person that's going to cherish and nourish you, and that just gets you, because it's hard to find, baby, these streets.
Yeah.
These streets are streeting. And I think it's a balance of understanding both, right? Like, if you're in a place, it's the last straw, please walk away. We don't want you to sit in a place where it's toxic. It's not conducive for your growth. It's not conducive to you. Obviously, we would say it's best to walk away, but if it's salvageable and y'all can fix it, fix it.
Yeah. And I want to add one last thing here. I will say I know we keep going, but this is our banter, it's like we're on FaceTime.
No, seriously, that's like, this is our convo.
This is like FaceTime. What we do. So we're just bringing y'all along, I was just going to say, I think with social media, especially, a lot of things that I see, or something that I see, is a lot of men and women thinking the grass is greener on the other side because of something they see in socials, or like they see the highlight of a man or a woman's life and what he or she has, and they think that it's like the biggest, greatest thing in the world, and they don't see the stuff underneath that actually sucks. They just see the stuff on top. Like, if you got a good one and you can fix it and y'all can work through it, it'll bring you guys so much closer together. And like, you need that, every relationship, like, there's no relationship that's gonna be peaches and creams forever, and it's just gonna be a fantasy like the whole time. You can build your fantasy with your person. You can if you fall out of love, you can fall back in love with your person. But don't get it twisted with these streets and what you're seeing online, please, because that shit is not real life. Like, it's
social media is a highlight reel. It's really bare moments of people's lives, and I think a lot of people, they'll stump for the gram, they'll stump for TikTok. Like, they're living this life that's just not reality, and you get to see a 0.1 second of their life. So, baby girl, don't make your decisions on the gram, honey, because you will be speechless.
Yeah, you're gonna be speechless.
You're gonna be
please.
Yeah.
So you gotta take one thing from this.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the long answer. The long answer to my short question. So now let's switch it over to Samira.
Woo.
Samsky, my good sis. What is one thing that you are not afraid to stay or stand on? What's that one thing for you? What comes to mind?
Honey, this is gonna be spicy, but honestly, and before y'all come for me, I think this comes with self-love and understanding who you are. So I think when Black men, I know you're about to hear, when Black men are like, they're only going for white women, or they're only attracted to white women, I think that's like a red flag or a turnoff. And I'm gonna give you my reason for this, honey, because I feel like, and my thing is, when Black men go for white women, it doesn't stop there. They come to a position where they're demeaning Black women. And that's where I really have a problem with it, because I don't have an issue, and I want to be clear that you like white women. You like what you like, and that's okay. But my thing is, you're justifying it, and your justification is because, Black women are too loud. Black women are like my mama. Black women are, they have a justification for it, and that's just merely just not the case. One, you can't put everyone Black woman in a bubble. I'm sorry, that's just not okay. Like,
I agree.
And two, you also have to think too, it's like, you don't like these things. And I feel like they need some self-work because, and I like to say this, like, your mama is black, your sister is black, your family is black, but you don't like black women. And for me, that makes me, I feel like it's also a ding, red flag, where I don't know why it's like you have to attack black women to justify your answer. Like, it just doesn't sit right with my spirit, and it's a turnoff because, and mind you, I have nothing against my counterparts, my white women. I love y'all. That has nothing to do with anything or just race in general. I think it's the men itself. They go about it and they be kind of shiesty with it. Like, yeah. I'm not like, it's
the underlying energy. It's not, like you said, it's not about the white women or even the preference of what you like and like what you like. There's no problem with that. Like you said, it's like if your reasoning isn't that's just what you're attracted to, but your reason is something related to putting down black women and why you don't like them because they do this or do this and you don't like this or they remind you then it's like a red flag. It shows you like there's a wound there. Like there's a wound there. There's something down there that you as a man, it's your responsibility to heal that, to dig at, to look at it instead of just like projecting that onto black women.
Heavy on it's your job to heal that. I think a lot of times too, they love to project and they love to bring that energy. And a lot of time when they're doing that, it can hurt a woman's self-esteem. Yeah. Like, they don't even realize how much their words, and I think this is an important saying, like, you need to watch what you're saying because you don't know how many times somebody's replaying that back in their head. And you're sitting here, you're demeaning this woman. You don't know what the scars you're putting onto this woman because you have wounds you need to heal. No, baby.
I agree.
You got to go to therapy, okay?
I agree wholeheartedly with this. I agree so much because I have, some really amazing, beautiful black women in my life who have experienced this and have like been hurt by the words of black men and by feeling like they can't be picked. Like, like women, all women and all men, like we all want love, So if you see that fine ass black man over there and he doesn't like you and his reasoning is something that's so foul, it'll get to you. Like, even if you're like, that he's dumb, like, he's dumb for that. Yeah. But it might still get to you, especially if you hear it like over and over again from different black men, like that does not feel good. And I think, as black people, we have to lift each other up more. That's something that we all need to work on.
Say that again, Liz. Say that again.
Black brothers and sisters, y'all supposed to take care of each other. You're not supposed to tear each other down. You're not supposed to make each other feel worse. Like, I don't support that. I don't condone that in any way, shape, or form. And I really need y'all to take accountability for that. That shit's not cool.
We're not saying, we don't like mixed relationships or no one is saying that. I think it's the way they go about it. It's just, it becomes a bigger conversation. And, I think it's like a lot in the athlete world, you see it. And I think too, black women could feel like, why aren't they good enough for that? And I have to drop this stat here really quick because black women are the most educated women in all of the United States. We're the highest educated, the most degrees. Like, baby, you are worthy. Baby, you are enough. It does not matter what what he says out of his mouth. You are that girl. And don't forget it because he has a lot of work he needs to do within himself. I think that you should take it with a grain of salt. Not even a grain of salt.
Throw that shit away. Nah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like you said, you're that girl. Throw that shit away. Like, you're going to attract if you have that deep belief and that love for yourself, you're going to attract the perfect man for you. I don't care what race it is. He's going to give you the energy that you need, that you deserve, the love and the respect that you need and you deserve. And the other guy, he going to end up with his match. And you let him have his match over there and you go about your business.
Let him project to his match.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Don't let that shit in, baby girl, because we're not going for that.
So, we may sit a pot.
It's going to get hot.
But, baby, trust, you just hit the jackpot.
Yup. Okay.
Thank you guys for joining us today. It was really a fun, I think, eye-awakening. I know we mentioned some maybe controversial things, but I think we really just we kind of shed some light. We brought some awareness to some true things. So, make sure to follow us on the socials, connect to our world. We are so super excited to have y'all.
Yeah. And we always want to provide value. If we can drop game, if we can, help you in any way, shape, or form, even if it's just to relate to a conversation and make you feel seen and heard, whatever it is, we're here for it.
We're here for you, besties. Yeah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.